Welcome to Realance Radio, a podcast that explores how regenerative paradigms and principles and practices are being brought to life all around the world, especially those living in the front lines of ecological and humanitarian crises. In this season, we are talking to Realance partners share their stories about the work they do. Today, we explore how schools are becoming centers for environmental awareness, sustainability, and climate action through the Bioschool initiative. From school gardens to waste management and environmental clubs, young people are increasingly becoming part of the solution. My name is Boris-Karloff Batata. On today's episode, we shall be listening to Piedad Viteri, the lead team member of Bioschools Initiative from Ecuador. Stay with us.
Hi, Batata. I'm very thankful for this invitation and also uh, thankful for Realliance. It's very important the work that we do around the world to share and to exchange the good projects, that solutions and the overcomes of things coming out of the humanitarian sustainable assistance. But I also feel that it is about resilient communities, that redesign of resilient communities. It's also interactive with all kinds of um, global and local eco-social solutions. So we are here from Ecuador. I'm in Ecuador, in the near the Ilalo volcano, and in the city of Quito. We have very important news
Wow, wow.
because it is very joyful to see how the tools and the project design that came out of the eco village design that we also used in the post catastrophe project in the coast of Ecuador after an earthquake happened there, and we came with this project that integrated the four dimensions of sustainability: ecological, social, economical, and cultural within an integral vision. Uh, and there we used this eco village design structure to develop a project with the local school, rebuilding the local school and rebuilding the community from the schools stakeholders and how they integrated. Then we saw and we found out there that the schools were the local nodes of transformation, and that the influence that the school can have in the territory, like in the geographical side, is very important. So we came after years back to the city, and we introduced this same methodology to a formal school, to a conventional mainstream school, to see if it was possible to also to change the education, transform education within the system. Okay, so we have there some very nice outcomes, like this school won one of the world best school prizes in environmental action, and after that it was like one prize after another because of the model. But also then the Ministry of Education took this model and start spreading to the other schools. And now we have two big projects, one on ecosystem restoration, and other in zero waste, that now it's is scaled up to hundreds of schools. So Bioschools is the strategy to share with all the other schools, not only in Ecuador. We are already achieving in Latin America, but we look forward to for it to be global, so we can share the model, and the schools can replicate in a lot of places, and there is where our networks also work and also come up, because I always say there's a lot of me's around the world that can do the same as me, and mentor or help a school to transform into a resilient community and to influence their territory. And what we have to do is come together with a tool that help us all have a way, have a structure, and then start also working in network to let a systemic transformation come.
Well, thank you. I mean, you've elaborated on the background of this project from the ideation, the inspiration. It was born from trouble in Ecuador, and now you're using it as a transformative project. So, how are students or pupils that you are dealing with, how are they involved practically? What are the activities that they carry out in this project?
Well, so as there is like a synchronical structure within like the four dimensions of sustainability, and schools structure like science areas, study areas. Science is ecological, social is social dimension, economical dimension relates to math and other like computers and other like entrepreneurship also subjects that we have now. And culture also comes to the self development, like self knowing, or sports, arts. Yeah. So this was easy to articulate like to all the school subjects, but also we first with the transformation of the place of the campus into an ecological site, into a site of demonstration. But that happens also through subjects, through the practices of different subjects, and also from projects. Yeah. There, every school has the service time. In international standards, it's called like CAS, or CAEs, creativity, action, and service. And also we use these hours to for the students and the teachers to work in transforming the school into an ecological site with renewable energies, water management, green building, zero waste, food, seed, and soil, and ecosystem restoration. So it was like changing the hardware. Yeah. And from there, now we have, okay, we turned this forest into a edible forest, and we created outdoor classes. And then as we are planting the native species, because we're recovering a forest that was intervened, like it was changing to an exotic species, not native. And this is also part of the erosion and bringing also fire as a risk. And then, okay, we have to transform the place, restore the land, and all teachers start coming in, like with the participation hours, we planted trees, and work in the soil, planted trees, all the work in the restoration. But then comes a teacher and says, okay, let's map the species and start making information about each one, signals about each one, and let's do it with the students. That turns into an interpretation center. Yeah, but then comes the art teacher and she says, let's make illustrations about the species, and that turns also into an exposition, art exposition. Then I come again and then I said, let's make a game with like a tarot of the species to learn about also synthropy or symbiosis and the soul of the forest. And then, okay, now we have also a edu communication material. Then the communication team comes and starts making the students the protagonists of the communicational pieces to also promote the school, but not only promote the school, but promote the education for sustainable development scheme. And then it just keeps on going. Like last workshop we had, like I we work with the teachers for them to say, okay, what themes from my subject, social, math, languages, do I develop in the forest or in the renewable energies or in the garden or in the orchard or in the all the places that were developed were transformed. And you can see all kind of articulations, like they just take it to the practical. Yeah, and these influences in the students but also in the families, because the kids and the young people are best transformers of the families. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and families also influence in their surrounding. But also we take the school responsibility, environmental and social responsibility, to be like to get to interact with the locality, like
Mm.
neighborhood, uh, community, like a little bioregional scheme. Yeah, and these also, as we work in networks, we have like 20 schools in a community of practice that were leading the same the same path. Now each one of them start influencing in their parks or in their other public schools that can come together with them. And then the solution started to be replicable. And then we have like also like in the economical dimension, when you have already like I have like an edible forest outdoor class, but what do you have there? You have a garden, fruits, and you have also a biodigester and a biogas kitchen and compost with worms. And you have like a circular all there, like you can harvest, you can cook, you can use the waste comes into the compost or biodigester. It that brings up biofertilizer or humus, and it also comes in the soil in the same place. Yeah. So what happened there? The students and the teachers get inspired and start making products. Yeah.
Mm.
Now they sell the products and have a little company from the students. Yeah, with a lot of products like biofertilizer or marmalades and the dehydrate herbs and others. And this is also part of, okay, so we are already in the school working the green employment. Yeah. And then like a lot of schools come
Mm.
like from places right now Ecuador has a lot of pressure on conflict from thanks God we haven't had lately like natural catastrophes because they are big also here, but we are exposed now to conflict and also to displacement by conflict.
Oh,
Yeah. So strengthening like local communities by the schools is very important. Creating their own circular local community and not depending on centralized systems is very important for the economy to keep on happening. And I think this is also happening when they come from schools. Just like this school has the transformation, okay, then it's open for other schools to come and visit and see, and we do like a sustainable route tour and they learn teachers and authorities and students from other school come to make the tour so they can design their own project.
wow.
Yeah. So I see people from the Amazon or from the coast that comes, and we don't have the resources to buy a biodigester, but we have worms. Worms are free and there are millions working. We already have the compost and we already have the products, and they share, okay, we have already going a product. We are already going with a local, with a student and families bank.
Right.
They come up also with a lot of solutions. In Galapagos also we are with the same process with the public school that is also developing their own local products. And this is what is very inspiring to see that it really, really works in giving them the tools to turn their livelihood into like this green employment scheme, but starting from the school.
Well, I mean, this is amazing, amazing. As you talk, I just could imagine how many years has this initiative been running, because I could already start seeing the impact that you're creating. I mean, transforming school, not just for teaching and learning process, but also empowerment facilities for communities. That is so amazing. How long have you been into this, and how many schools have you been able to work with?
More than 60 schools have been in the tour. Yeah, and in the workshops in the like in person. Yeah. And this is from like developing the model took much more years than from the point of, okay, sharing sharing with the other schools the solution. That is happening since 2022 or 23. But the first school that where it was made, it was in 2016, 2017, which was the after earthquake school in Manabi Coast. And they have another really amazing story because we worked there like 8 months, and we rebuilt like a huge maloca, we say, like auditorium, outdoor auditorium, and with bamboo, and this was like with the participation of families and the parents and the kids and the
Uh,
youngs. And this became the place
Wow.
where they have like the sociocracy workshops, but they created the agriculture organization, and they have parties and also church
Yeah.
and coming together place. But then what it was all about, like valuing their local ancestral culture, wisdom, and gastronomy. Yeah, because they were we always said, hey, you eat like rich people. Really, you are very rich because you see like no houses, living in tents. But comes the weekend and three families cooking together with like lobster and and also like very very nice food. Okay, so then what happened, like years later, I come back and then I see that the agriculture organization had accomplished to find a big land in collaboration with the local government. They landed the land for them to work as agricultures, but they have like all kind of products like in agroforestry, and also the little restaurants, bamboo places that were at the road. Now it was a very big restaurant with a lot of bamboo, and they were the local ancestral food was also like with a organic and no waste concept,
Mm.
because just like they valued what they have 50 years before. Yeah. And now it comes that they win one contest after another of gastronomy, not only in Ecuador, but the international judges came, and they were one of the places visited for Manabí, their province in Ecuador, to become the global gastronomy patrimony
Yeah.
prize this year.
Mm.
So they get a global prize.
Mm.
And this all comes out of the school working together for a local economy entrepreneurship.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is the power of a school transforming a community.
Okay, it's a journey that stems from 2016, 2017, and it's still running right up till now, 2026.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I see you work a lot with community. You integrate, the community into the process. Why so? Why do you always bring in the community to work with? Why is it important?
Well, without the community, there is no transformation. Like if you can do the ecological dimension and plant a lot of trees there, but if there's no one taking care of them, they will die.
Mm.
It's the same with the ecological technologies. You can invest a lot in the biodigester or bamboo buildings, but if there is no people working on that, being part of the value change,
Mm.
the value chain, then it's not. And it's like for communities, it's important that it comes from their livelihood. What is their work about? Yeah. They have the economy around that. Okay. And because we live also in places that we need uh, to improve the economy, but also to change the mindset about what is rich and what is poor, and with the community working as a part of the project, being like not being part from, okay, I bring the project and you make it yours. No, it's creating, designing with them. Then they will work together to go to the next level, or to change, to get to where dreams are.
Okay.
They are individual and collective dreams. So I think community is the center of any transformation.
Super. Yeah, I get you. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. I mean, when you look at your works today, can you share with us maybe a success story that you are so proud of? That when you see it as a project implementer, you say, okay, wow, thank God I've done this and it's working. It has created impact. Can you share maybe one example of a success story, or probably that moment that you hold so dearly?
Yeah, yeah, like this in Rambuche, where this is the community that now has the prices of local global gastronomy there, and I think the click came when we were together one day, like in the Maloca with the fire in the center, old and young people like talking to each other. And the question was, are we rich or are we poor? Yeah, because we have food, we have like bamboo,
Mm,
we we have also community, and we have a public education that's for free. And in that time, we used to have free health also. And so they realized we are not poor, we're very rich. And like I do my work, and then I lay down in the beach. Okay. And then also we have are very rich because our our food and our ancestral wisdom. Then this made a click. Like years later, they said, I remember when we find out that we were rich people. Yeah. So so they became like, okay, now I value myself, I value my place, and it became just beautiful and full of flavors and colors that are part of my richness, my biodiversity. So this is the example of them. I also see here with the school here in Johannes Kepler School, these moments of connection that we find out. Okay, so it was first transforming the land, but the land is the people. The education with a formal education scheme with academic
yeah.
features and things. But now we found out, and we said, I said, someone bring the word biomimesis, and say, what's that? Okay, this is when we act the same as nature. And we found out that we were acting the same as nature, not only in the way of working with nature, but also in the way of relating and in the way of studying and in the themes, like the amount of interactions that has that nature has is starting to happen also within the education schemes and the yeah.
Wow.
So, and oh, we are a biomimetic, right? I did not really say that way. We just find out like these weeks before, like, and also like it was a huge aha of all the community.
Mm,
Yeah. And these celebrations are very important
yeah.
because it keep us on inspired.
Right.
Oh.
Right. So, as we round off this session, are there some limitations, maybe one or two limitations that you've had carrying out this project in communities?
Yeah, I think we have now a lot of much like we have a lot of problems in the global and local context now. Like we are not working from a safe place to start. Yeah, we are working from a place that we really need to get out of the misinformation of the like propaganda and a lot of things that are just confusing the people to where we should be heading. Like right now, we should be all working in getting resilient. Yeah, but we are still a
Mm.
lot of people confused with all the noise and not focusing on being one human heart. And then so this is also giving hard moments for the model to spread, okay? Because okay, Bioschools is okay already here. Let's just use it. But I think we still have to to flourish
Yeah,
in a place that's turning into a desert. But we have but we have the power to do that because humanity has had have all this power all through ages, we all through all kind of wars and contexts. I think we will do it again, but we still need to inspire each other, help each other. Like these networks are very important, like Realliance, because you happen to get inspired of being part of, and you help to contain each other. We need to much more of that in
right.
this context.
Right. Well, thank you. I like the way you talk about the challenges and you also put in hope. You know, there is hope in your challenges. Piedad Viteria, thank you immensely for taking out time of your busy schedule to share with us your Eco School project and how it is transforming your community. Thank you.
Thank you, Boris.
Right. And to you, our viewers and listeners, we are grateful you followed this session on the Real Lands Radio. And it's been great listening to Piedad all the way from Ecuador on how they have transformed schools, not just to be a teaching and learning space, but a space for empowerment, community empowerment. We are grateful that you followed.